Sit
how do
down.
you think about that?
Sit down.
How do you feel about that, sir?
Sit down.
You're gonna shoot me? Or you're gonna shoot me, officer?
If you use that weapon against me,
A weapon?
then yes, that is a consideration.
I'm minding my
All you have to do is comply right
Right now, you just walked in my house. Sorry, I'm sorry. No, I know.
You can't stop. You need to listen to learn, not listen to reply. You need to turn that little switch off in your brain that you want to run your mouth and argue every time somebody tells you something. Because this is disturbing the peace. You can go to jail and not go to work. You were told to leave the store, and you didn't want to go off. Take my jacket off? Nope.
Cops are meant to serve and protect, but what happens when they become the problem? Some officers let their power go to their heads, pushing things way too far, only to instantly regret it when they meet someone who won't back down. Get ready, because these are some of the most outrageous cases of dirty cops who thought they were untouchable.
down. Right now I'm detaining you and investigating you for a trespass.
I live here.
Sit down. Sit down.
No.
As this officer strolled through town, his gaze landed on a student diligently cleaning up an area in front of his house. A responsible act, one might think, but to the officer it was something else, an opportunity. The student seemed unaware of the law in a way only the officer could perceive, making him an easy target. But what started as a simple conversation was about to take a turn.
I couldn't help but notice you just sitting on the patio out there.
What's that?
I couldn't help but notice you sitting on the patio behind this building.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's signs for no trespassing, private property, that kind of thing. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were doing, if you lived here or you worked here.
Yeah,
it looks like you're working, doing something, picking stuff up. Okay, gotcha. What's the actual address then?
33 Arapahoe.
Okay, what unit are you in?
I don't think I have to actually tell you that.
Well, I'm just checking to make sure that you have a right to be here, that's
Well,
all.
I just told you I lived here.
Okay.
And I told you that I'm working as well.
Okay.
Shouldn't that be enough for you?
Well, I gotta verify it, just so I know that you do in fact live here.
What do you need from me?
If you have an ID with your address on it, that'd be great. Well, we've had some stuff.
For some reason, the cop felt that this student needed to prove his right to stand where he was. Of course, you don't need to be a law expert to know that constitutional law protects you from such nonsense, but the cop had conveniently forgotten that, just like he had forgotten his oath to uphold those rights. And soon the student would realize just how little that oath really meant.
Going on in this area, I'm just doing my job, just making sure you belong here, and if you do, then great, and I'll be on my way. Okay. Do you have anything with your address on it?
Yo, look, man. Here,
Hey,
why don't you follow
Just
me
relax.
and I'll just the building, dude.
Hey, just chill out, man.
Dude, this is ridiculous.
I'm just asking you if you have something with your address on it, then that would help me.
No, I don't. How am I supposed to have something with my address
Well,
on it?
a lot of people have a
They
driver's
just carry
license.
they just carry something with their address on it?
Yeah, an ID.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. So, Mr. Atkinson, can I get your date of birth, please?
Why?
I just need to verify.
Throughout the entire interaction, the student made only one mistake. He handed over his ID when he didn't have to. That was all the cop needed. It was as if, by giving it up for no reason, he had surrendered authority over himself. And of course, the cop saw this as an open invitation to push further, to test how much more he could get away with. What came next was entirely predictable.
By who you are, that you belong here, that you have a right to be here, okay?
Are you kidding me, man?
Can you have a seat, please?
No.
Mr. Atkinson.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
290 Cook 12. Can you please have a seat?
No.
Put that down. Stop. Mr. Atkinson, right now you're obstructing a police officer, which is a jailable offense. I'm asking you one more time to sit down.
I'm not doing anything wrong. And you're not going to arrest me. You're not going to do anything. Because I live here. And I didn't do anything wrong.
Last chance, sir.
What?
Have a seat.
For what? For what?
Sit
You're
down.
gonna arrest the
Right now I'm
person? You're
detaining
gonna
you
arrest
and
someone?
investigating you for a
You're gonna arrest-
trespass.
I live here.
Sit down.
I mean, can you imagine pulling into your own driveway and having a cop threaten to arrest you just because his ego couldn't handle it? But as bad as it sounds, nothing is worse than a cop who feels his authority is being questioned. And this one, well, he wasn't about to let it go. Instead of sticking to the truth, he called for backup with a false report.
Sit down. $290.
That's who you are. You're a fucking
Have a
idiot.
seat, please.
You're gonna tase me outside of my residence? I hope that
Drop
thing's
that.
on.
Put that down.
I hope the camera's on, sir.
Put that
I
down.
really do. No, I'm working.
You need to
I live
listen to
here.
what I'm telling you
I
to
have
do
my
right now.
address. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything illegal.
290, we're on
I haven't
the
done anything
east
wrong,
side of
so I'm not gonna
2333
listen.
Folsom.
I don't
Subject's
know you.
failing to comply,
You're actually
not
on my
sitting down,
property,
and he
and I
has
feel
some
unsafe.
kind of a blunt object in his hand.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna follow until my cover gets here. Have a seat.
I'm not sitting.
Sit down.
I'm not sitting anywhere.
Sit down. Now.
Why?
Now. Do it now.
Why? Why?
I'm detaining you to investigate.
Even though the cop got the guy's ID, it wasn't enough. He started barking all kinds of ridiculous orders, none of which the guy had to follow. And when he didn't, because let's be realistic, he had every right to refuse, the cop took it as resisting and immediately threw out threats of arrest. It was clear this was going to be a long, exhausting day, because this cop had no idea when to stop.
What? For
Investigated
what?
trespass.
I live here. You saw
You haven't
I'm a
confirmed that.
student.
Sit down.
I'm a student.
Sit down and I'll
I'm not
confirm it.
sitting anywhere.
Sit down now.
No.
Sit down.
I'm not sitting down.
Then you're probably gonna get tased in a second.
Why?
Because you have a weapon. Put that
I
down.
have a weapon.
Put it down and comply with my
That's
orders.
not what you're doing, officer.
Do
You
it.
better think, because I got fucking, dude, I can get lawyers, and you have a
You-
camera on you.
It's filming right now.
You're an idiot.
Have a
Why
seat,
would you think
please.
that you could tase me? I'm freaking picking up trash on my property,
I need to confirm
which
it.
is where I live.
There's a sign.
I'm not doing anything illegal, and you're not gonna tase me, officer. So
Sit
how do
down.
you think about that?
Sit down.
How do you feel about that, sir?
Sit
How
down
do you feel about
now.
that, sir? And get your freaking lieutenant here. all
They're
right?
on the way.
Yeah, good.
This cop lied so many times during this interaction that it was hard to understand how he even had the nerve to say and try any of it, especially with his body cam recording everything. Anyone watching could see his words didn't match reality, that his version of events was pure fiction. But that did not stop him. As time went on, the threats only escalated. With every new lie, it became clear he wasn't planning on backing down.
Sit down now. I'm giving you another order to sit down.
I'm not doing anything wrong. You're filming and you know it. Alright? And you're filming. So you know I didn't do anything wrong. So you can't tase
290,
me.
we're now
You won't
behind
tase me. We're gonna wait for the
2333
lieutenant,
Folsom.
and you're gonna get
Subject
some
is
shit.
still failing to
You're
comply.
gonna get some shit, sir. Not
Sit
me.
down, sir.
No, I'm not sitting anywhere. You're not in control here. This is my property. I live here, not you.
Sit
Not
down
you.
so I can
live here.
continue
I
my
feel
investigation.
unsafe Because you just
Sit down.
threatened to tase me.
Sit down.
I feel unsafe. No, point the camera here.
You have a dangerous object in your hand and you're failing to put it down.
I'm picking up trash.
Put it down.
Gonna
You're
shoot
being
me.
detained.
Your hand is on your weapon, and you're gonna shoot me? That's what you're gonna do, officer?
290, we're
You're
still
gonna
behind
shoot a
20.
resident.
The cop believed he had the right to detain this guy simply because he had given an order over and over again and wasn't obeyed, but the real issue, he never had any reason to give orders in the first place. There was no law being broken, no threat, just a cop desperate to assert control. And soon it would become clear why he was so determined to make this guy submit.
On his
333
property
Folsom.
for
Subject
picking up
is failing to
trash.
comply.
That's what you're gonna do, officer?
Sit down, sir.
Why don't you use your brain?
I asked you several times.
Use your intelligence. Are you gonna kill me? Are
Several
you gonna
times
kill me?
I've
Your
asked
hand is
you.
on your weapon. I
Yes,
feel
it is.
threatened. That's
I
a
feel
fucking
threatened
gun.
because you're not
That's a
putting that
gun.
down. Yes, it is.
I'm picking up trash.
Put it down. I
I'm
told you
picking
many
up
times to
trash,
put it down.
And you're holding a gun.
Put it down.
And you're holding a gun.
Sir, put it down.
And you're holding a gun. How do you feel?
Put it down,
How do you
sir.
feel, officer? How do you feel? You're holding
it down.
a gun. How do you feel?
Sit down on the ground like
How
I've
do you
told
feel?
you many times
Or
before.
you're gonna shoot me? Or you're gonna shoot me, officer?
If you use that weapon against me,
A weapon.
then
I'm-
yes, that is a
I'm 20 feet
consideration.
from you. I'm minding my
All you have to do
business.
is comply right
Everything-
now.
Officer, you're gonna shoot me.
Just have a seat, man.
Shoot me? Are you-
All I want to do is figure this out with
Camera
you.
on this guy.
Can you believe this cop was so reckless that he actually admitted on camera that there was a scenario there he would have shot the guy? Was that really the best way he could think of to assert control? But at that moment, the guy had had enough. He wasn't about to let this cop push him any further. Still, the cop had an explanation for his actions that, in his mind, made perfect sense.
Sit down. Sit down.
Yo, somebody, hey.
Right.
Somebody in 2333, get a camera on this officer. He has a gun in his hand, and he's gonna shoot me. You got a camera? Exactly. That's my boy, Zinio, right there. This
Hey,
is
Fern,
my
we're
residence.
just to the east of
You're on my
Backcountry,
property with a gun in your hand.
Sit
trying
down.
To shoot me because I'm picking up trash. I hope that
Sit
camera's
down.
on camera. Where's your lieutenant?
Just sit down.
Where's your lieutenant? He has a camera on you. You're gonna go to
Sir,
jail.
sit down.
Dude, you're not gonna get away with murder. You're not. Not today.
290, it's
Not
going to be a
today.
wrap, I hope.
You're not gonna get away with murder.
Sit down.
I'm not sitting down.
Look, I don't want this to go any further, but you need to
You
comply
gonna
with my
shoot me?
orders.
I don't have a weapon.
That's a weapon.
This is a bucket.
No, that's a weapon.
At this point, it was obvious to everyone. The student hadn't done anything wrong. The only reason the cop approached him in the first place was the color of his skin. From the moment he laid eyes on him, it was racial profiling, plain and simple. The cop kept pushing, crossing every line, but what he didn't realize was that he had finally gone too far, and soon he would regret it.
This is a clamper for picking up garbage, sir.
Put it down, I'm telling you, I'm threatened
It's
by
not
it.
a weapon. You're not threatened. I'm threatened. You have a gun that kills people. How am I supposed to kill someone with
Sit
this?
down, sir.
Dude, no. Keep that. Keep
Sit
that on
down.
camera. He's got a gun in his hand. I'm gonna
Sit
sue
down.
the shit out of you, dude. I go to university here.
Sit
I'm gonna
down.
sue you.
You're
What is
refusing to
wrong?
comply with my
I'm not-
orders.
I'm not sitting down. I'm not sitting down, and you can't make me. Officer, he's got a gun.
Sit
He's
down.
got a gun. He's got a gun.
Have a seat.
He's got a gun. He's
Sit
got
down.
A gun. What do you mean? This is my property. This is
290,
my
we're
house.
still
I
giving him
live
verbal
here.
commands, trying to get him to comply. Sit down and drop that object.
I don't have to do
Sit
anything.
down and drop it.
I'm on duty doing my work and my job, and this officer comes over here.
Drop the object.
It didn't take long for backup cops to arrive, but if you thought their presence would improve the situation, that someone would finally step in and stop the cop, well, you'd be dead wrong, because that's not how it works. Cops don't hold each other accountable, they protect each other, no matter how bad their behavior is. And just like that, the cover-up had already begun.
Are you serious? No, I'm not doing anything.
Have a seat. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
Why do you all four of them look, dude? All four.
The police are telling you to do something. Do it.
You have a gun in your hand.
Yes, I do, because you're not listening.
You have a f***ing gun
You have
in your
a weapon.
hand. I don't have a
Drop the weapon. Drop it.
I don't have a weapon.
Drop it now.
What are you doing? No, what do you mean? Focus
Drop
on
it
you. There's
now.
fucking 6 of you.
Just drop it.
Really? This is my property.
We're not going anywhere. You need to drop it. I haven't confirmed that yet. I told you I'm investigating a trespass.
I fucking live
You
here.
didn't give me your address.
2333. I live in room 304.
That's the first time.
And
Have
all
a seat.
you are threatening me on my property. I live here.
Hey, listen.
I'm a resident
The first thing you
of
need
this
to do is
fucking
drop
property.
that
I'm
item.
picking up
I love how cops pretended that the object the student was using to pick up trash was somehow a weapon. Like that alone justified them pulling their guns. This wasn't about enforcing the law, it was about power. About these cops believing they could say and do whatever they wanted just because they had a badge. But this time, they were wrong.
garbage from my f***ing door. I go to school here.
Drop it.
I
Just
go
drop
to
it and
school
sit.
Here. Don't f***ing tell me what to do. You guys don't have a right to be doing this to me.
Sit down
I'm a
and drop
citizen
it.
of this country.
Sit
I
down.
f***ing pay my taxes. I am a student, and all of you have weapons drawn, and I
Sit
feel
down.
threatened.
Sit down and drop that
No!
object.
I will not sit down. I refuse to sit down until you guys put your f***ing weapons away. Put your goddamn weapons away.
Right there. Can we talk?
Put your gun away.
Have a seat.
Put your gun away.
Have a seat.
Put your gun away, and I will
I'm not
talk
putting
to
my
you.
gun away.
Then I'm not doing a goddamn thing.
Back up
Because you
and have a
came onto
seat.
my property with your weapons drawn, threatening me
Have a seat,
at the
sir.
place that I sleep.
And then the cop realized he needed some kind of excuse for why he had approached the student in the first place, so he scrambled and came up with the worst possible one: trespassing. No need to explain why that made absolutely no sense, but in his mind it didn't have to. What mattered was that he asserted his authority, made it clear who was in charge. His confidence wouldn't last much longer.
Back up.
How do you feel about that?
Back up.
How do you feel about
Back
that?
up and sit down, please.
Fucking tell me what to do. What, you're gonna shoot me?
No one's gonna shoot.
Or you're gonna tase me and arrest me and beat the shit out of me like every other? No, don't tell me what to do. Get off my property. Get off my property. Get off my property.
I'm Officer Parker.
Great. Why should I have?
Then we can have an adult conversation.
Adult conversation now? You wanna have an adult conversation after your deputy pulled his gun on you?
I do want to talk to you.
Really? You got it all on camera.
Yep, I do want to talk to you.
So how do you feel about that, sir?
Why don't you tell me the things that will help?
Just talk to my partner.
I really don't think that that is okay with me. I don't feel like having how many strangers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 officers of the law with guns.
After a few minutes, the guy calmly explained, right in front of the other cops, that he had already given his ID and provided all the information he was required to right up until the cop crossed the line. But that was when the cop nearly lost it. You could see he wanted to jump out of his skin, but it was too late for that.
Gun it,
Wasting
sir.
all our resources. There's people out there actually committing crimes.
Like, can I
How
tell
do
you
feel?
something? Can I tell you something?
How do you feel? You're ready to jump out of your skin because you know you made a dumb mistake today.
Can I tell you something?
No. I don't want to hear it.
Okay,
I want you to get
why
off
don't
my
you talk to
property.
my partner?
I don't want to talk to any of
Right
you
now, I need you to
boys.
sit down
I
so
want
we
you
can
guys to
figure
get
it
off
out.
my property and stop wasting my time.
That's not going to happen until I confirm who you are and what you're doing.
You already know who I am. He just confirmed who I am.
I don't have your date of
want
birth,
my ID
which is
back.
what I asked for.
I want my ID back,
And,
please.
and when we've finished, then you can have
and
it
then
back.
you can go.
Can you have a seat so we can
I'm
talk
not
a little
sitting,
more?
and
Okay.
I don't think that I have to sit. I'm not sitting. This
Okay.
isn't like a game.
Right
where,
now,
like,
you're
where
acting
me and
very-
You're gonna negotiate what we do here, because I have my rights, and you guys came onto my property, right, with suspicion of accusations, right? I don't know what the you guys are even here for. You haven't even told me what your purpose is.
You didn't give me a chance.
You haven't told me what your purpose is, sir.
I'd be happy to if
I
you
don't
can just
want
have a
to
seat.
know anymore.
Okay.
What I want right now is I want my identification. I'm not sitting down.
Well,
All right? And I
here's
don't
what
think
we
you
can do.
realize that, sir. I'm not sitting
Here's
down.
what we can do. We can stand here all day,
All right. And you can
Or-
waste our resources when there's people out there committing crimes, right?
Or I
And
could
that's
get
what you're
your-
after, right? Criminals, right?
I can get your
Right.
name.
Of course, the cop had the perfect chance to do the right thing, apologize and walk away, but that was never an option for him. Instead, for the upteenth time, he tried to twist the situation to his advantage. So he started lying. Right in front of everyone, he fed his colleague a completely different story, one that had nothing to do with what had happened that day.
Your date of birth.
You have all my
Find
stuff.
out. I don't have your date of birth. Yeah, there's
Why
no,
do you need my information?
I
Why are
explained
you
it to
coming
you.
onto my property asking me for my information? This is where I f***ing live.
I mean-
I don't need to give you shit. I didn't do shit. I f***ing live here.
Do we just want to stand here?
I live here. Go get go get everybody. Call everybody.
That's not how it works.
Call everybody. Then we'll have a standoff, dude. Are you f***ing kidding me? This is stupid. I live here.
Hang
you
out
came
and
on
just
my
talk to my
property
partner.
and you took my identification, dude. I live here, not you. You need to tell me who the f*** you are.
So I saw him sit.
Yeah, you need to tell me who the f*** you are.
Serious on
What's
the
your
private
name?
property side. He wasn't really doing anything. He's kind of milling about, and then come back down, sit, milling about, come back down and sit. And then when I came into the alley, he stood up and I saw that he had that belt thing, or it looked like he was kind of banging it like against the. So I wasn't sure if he was like trying to damage something, or. And then I addressed him, and then he proceeded to walk around here, and I saw it was like a device for picking up trash, and he was picking up trash. So I contacted him and just asked him, hey, can I let me chat with you? I'm just checking to make sure that you have a right to be here.
The backup cops knew their colleague had completely mishandled the situation, but did any of them step in to stop him? Well, of course not. That actually made them worse than him. And then they did something that should, without any question, be illegal. They muted their body cameras. Was it to adjust the story to make sure their version lined up before the truth could catch up to them?
And then he initially talks to me, gives, I ask him why he's here, and he says he lives here and works here, and I ask him for the address, and he turns and off of the building. Okay. And he won't tell me his apartment number. He gives me like some kind of school ID, but it doesn't have a date of birth, so I ask him for his date of birth.
Do you get it?
No. At that point, he refuses, and he starts walking away, picks up that metal object in the bucket and walks away from me. I just follow him in a distance until cover gets here.
Okay. So we've confirmed that he lives here, right?
No.
Well, he just did.
Okay.
Parker just did. He confirmed that he lives here.
According to him, he lives here. He just provided a unit number finally. I don't have a date of birth. I don't know who he is.
Okay. All right. So let's. You got his.
We'll never know what the cops said while their body cameras were muted, but in the end, they had no choice. They let the student go, acting like nothing had ever happened. But the student didn't forget. Neither should we. What consequences do you think these cops should face? Let us know in the comments. Let's move on to the next case, which is somehow even worse. A former nursing home changed hands in early 2021 when a family from Tennessee bought it, planning to turn it into apartments. In the meantime, a caretaker managed the property, handling maintenance and keeping things civil with local cops. Everything remained peaceful. That is, until June of 2022. That's when a police captain decided the law didn't apply to him. Instead of respecting the owner's rights, he chose to create a problem where none existed.
You know what? I wait for somebody to get here. It's this dog for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even make contact with him, but I wanted to make sure I had something to get a dog off of him.
4121, go ahead. If you can change this to
Oh, shit.
Report 517 Airport Road, Burger.
You're back. Get your dog.
The cops entered the property without a warrant and consent. What started as a simple conversation quickly turned into aggressive questioning, even though they had no right to be there in the first place. The security guard explained over and over why he was there, but the cops didn't care. They weren't interested in the truth. That day, they had something else on the mind. And soon, it would become clear what.
Put him in that big closet. He's protecting you. I'll fucking kill him. This ain't your house. All I'm the one here for is your own place. Who owns it? You don't know the man? Mr. Brooks Stevenson. The little one. Okay. He made it. Come on. Turn your feet down. I'm working on that right now. We're doing work in the house, so work on somebody. I don't need to. You don't? Holy shit. No, you just worked in my house. I don't know this is your house. Well, you're up in here. This is commercial property. You gonna get ID?
Of course, the cops gave themselves the right to trespass because they saw a suspicious car, despite the fact that the plates were registered to that exact address. But logic never mattered to them. The only thing that did was proving they were right, no matter how wrong they actually were. And so they did what cops do best: handcuff an innocent man.
Phone, give me the phone. I'm calling right now. You can call him by looking up who owns the property. He'll tell you who's supposed to be here.
You say your ID's in your car?
Yes, I've done shown many cops that this building that I've been supposed to be here. Huh?
Is it unlocked?
What?
Your car?
I don't know if my car is unlocked right now.
Where's your ID gonna be at?
It'll be If you're looking at on my dash, my CV, it should be right next to the CV. If it's not on me right here or in my room right now. All right. So, hey, sir, you can come out this back door right here. I can work you right to the car, bro, easy.
Is your back gonna hurt you if you do?
No, I have no problems with you showing how things. I have no more. I'm and stuff. I'm right now. You just worked in my house right here.
As far as I know, it's not our house.
I know. I understand.
Because we've not been told. We've been told extra patrol.
Just don't let the door shut all the way, or we won't be able to get back in.
So you don't have a key to your...
The cops now demanded the guard's ID, pretending it was just part of the process. But let's be real, that was a lie. They weren't verifying anything legitimate. They were digging, hoping to find something that could justify treating him like a criminal. And if they found even the smallest excuse, they would use it to turn this innocent man into their next arrest.
Yes, I understand.
It's kind of unusual.
And I've done shown as many times.
1711, we're going to be out front.
Sorry, that's CD. CD. You have CD on my dash? The CD. See where I'm going? Behind the second steering wheel.
I see.
Right there.
This is the first time I've been out. I was looking for a little girl.
So
that's run off.
about a month and a half ago, 2 other officers were in there screaming, yelling, "Hey, if you're in there, show up." And you're in that one locked room and wouldn't come out.
That wasn't me. Because I can tell you right now, for the last couple months,
Same vehicle.
Oh,
All your stuff's in there. Are you the person is this your registered owner vehicle?
Yes, Mr.
Some
Samples.
people don't want to try this here. I'm saying it's hard telling what I'm doing. Well, where I'm
Well,
going to go.
your
It depends
vehicle's
on
here,
when.
you're here.
Not all the time.
219 teletype.
My father comes down and he comes down and gets me up when we're doing stuff. I
219.
got New Orleans past week. I'm back and forth to
Can you run a Georgia DL for me?
Yes, sir. Like I said, I had my phone, and so this officer got a little aggressive.
Yep, we're good.
I proved that stuff, so. That's all right.
055161420.
The police officer shows up, you do what he or she tells you to do.
Super, Simba.
Courthouse.
Okay.
We've been told
You
extra patrol
got your
this out.
opinion, and I'll just handle it later on a different way. So.
All right.
And if you think I'm exaggerating that maybe these cops are just doing their job, listen to what they said while they were sitting in their police car, digging for anything they could use against him. What you'll hear is shocking. It's not about law enforcement, it's about power as always. And in just a moment, they'll prove exactly how far they're willing to go.
10-4. There's no phone number though.
We'll find something. Call. Is there anybody at the in the office that can TLO? Do you have his number offhand so we can call him? Yeah. Let's quit playing that game. All right, I'm gonna go get his phone.
10-4.
Can you believe that one cop actually told the other not to worry, that he would surely find something? So next time you wonder whether to trust the police, remember these cops. That should give you all the answers you need. But before we get to the part where they finally learn their lesson, let's take a look at how they treated the man they illegally detained.
All right, good. I'm glad to hear it. I will. I'll do it. All right. Well, we're going to make sure everybody knows that you've got him here. And, good. All right. And I'm pretty sure he knows now that if an officer ever asks for his ID, he's damn sure better get it. All right. Thank you. Bye. All right. Well, now we're straight. I guess I've turned it off. Well, we didn't get dog bit. Should I not arrest him for resisting, refusing to give his ID, or should I just let him go with a warning? What do you think? What would you like? Would you like to go to jail? Would you like for me to let you out of handcuffs?
4121 Family 97.
All right.
97.
I think a warning's appropriate.
Warning's appropriate. You got a handcuff key on it. You have a key back there.
No, there's no door to lock. I don't understand what's. I can get in.
It was locked the last
Yes.
time I was here.
I
your
understand.
car was
Most of
here.
it should be unlocked. The only one, like I said, you busted that one down. The one by the laundry room, it's the only one that's really easy to get into.
One cop actually suggested letting the man go. After all, he hadn't resisted or committed any crime, but the cops who arrested him didn't like that idea. To them, it was like a predator being asked to release prey it already had sunk its claws into. But what they didn't realize was that this man wasn't stupid, and soon they'd regret underestimating him.
That one?
No, not this one that run around the corner.
So, like I said, about a month and a half ago, I was looking for a missing girl. We reported she was by the library, and it just was abandoned. So I come back here, and your car was here. Dogs are inside. I'm like, why didn't somebody tell us somebody was living here? Then I went over to that door. It was ajar. Open. It wasn't open that far, but the little wire wasn't wrapped around. So I opened it up. I'm like, and there's a canoe in here. So I had another patrol unit. We wandered all around. The dogs were out. They weren't in the cage. And the only door that wasn't open where your stuff is here is that, like if you go right straight through that door right there. That's locked currently. That was the only one. So we're like, oh, maybe he's hiding in here. He just didn't want to talk to us. So we sat there. We were probably in there 30 minutes. I'm like, well, okay, so like I said, from the outside.
The cop finally took the handcuffs off the man, probably the smartest decision they made that day, but if you thought that'd be the end of it, think again. They still refused to leave him alone, clinging to their false authority like it meant something. It was almost as if they didn't realize they were only digging themselves into a deeper hole.
Open this door. Yes. So we came back out this way. I tried to. You can't close that door and leave the wire. So I just kind of pushed
that's
it
why
hard.
he got me hired out here.
And I said, okay. So I told that patrol sergeant, I was like, let's keep an eye on that.
I'll talk to it. I've even been down to the police department in the last year or so. Like even last night, I was hanging out on my front deck and
so I called code enforcement, and they're like, we don't know of anybody living there or whatever.
So that's why I even went down to the office one day because I had to come. Like when I first moved here, I expected, the people to come up here and question it. So I was first had it all done in there, probably like the third, fourth time. I thought, okay, maybe I should go down to the police department and say, hey, let you guys know, hey, there's someone out here and blah, blah, blah. And like I said, y'all need to come back here and hang out because there's been a few officers.
All that trash has accumulated. Now, I'm not saying it's yours, but that trash in there has accumulated. I'm assuming you're not picking up trash here. So if that has to be yours.
Honestly, it's hard to understand where these cops even found the inspiration for their ridiculous story, or where they got the audacity to start giving this man orders on how to behave in the future. In reality, he was just doing his job. He hadn't broken a single law, so there was no need for any so-called code of conduct, but clearly, these cops just enjoyed wasting their time.
Happens to be yours.
My trash.
Oh, that should bring that.
Oh yeah, I understand.
So
Like
that's yours.
so the last couple months,
That,
I understand. I've been busy doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, now it's about here to get all this cleaned up. And that's why it's back out, out the way.
All that is accumulated. It wasn't like that last time.
Oh yeah. I understand. My other job too was working security out in Live Oak. That's where I've been back and forth. And so I may have been out here, and one of my friends was with me. I could have been somewhere else and stuff like that when the dog was home. It's not necessarily the vehicle being here. Because then the boss has me come down here and does things. I'm maybe gone for him for a day or two. This guy bought this. He brought property here and down over in Parker stuff. So.
After the hurricane was the time to buy.
Oh yeah, I was in and that's what it was. Kind of find out. They repaired the roof, but to get the building back up to modern code after hurricane, it was going to cost too much. And they were like, no, they get rid of it. And they sold it. And this guy's planning on putting apartment complexes in it. Right now, it's in the government, in the city council's hands. So.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is so old. That's why most of it got torn down. I guess he's done.
I guess so.
I guess he's done. So
196 is 10-8.
Actually, can I get some information from you?
10-8.
Yeah.
196. Do you want us to close this call?
It didn't take long for the man, humiliated and mistreated for no reason, to show these cops they had messed with the wrong person. The moment he started demanding their names and badge numbers, their confidence wavered. These dirty cops spent the whole interaction on a power trip, never expecting to be held accountable. They had pushed too far, and soon enough, they're going to regret every second of it.
Ciccarelli and Sergeant Thor still 10-12 speaking with him, but you can close it out with no action taken.
An incident number, and it's and the name and badge numbers of everyone was just you.
There's no report going to be done, but
Doesn't need to be. I was just put in handcuffs. So there's not going to be no report made?
Come on, it's 4121.
Well, I understand, but does that body can't be going the whole time?
Of course it is.
Okay. I know my legal rights on certain things, and I do believe even what he said was wrong. So,
My name is Officer Ciccarelli. It's C-I-C-C.
C-O-C-I,
C-C.
C-C,
A-R-E.
A-R-E,
L-L-I.
L-L-I.
Badge number 219.
219.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it comes down to investigating, there's nothing wrong. Y'all are, it's part of your policy, then that's how it be. But I don't believe that. So, not to be thrown in handcuffs the way I was thrown in handcuffs, and hopefully that video will come out and show how aggressive he was. So, in my own spot, after I just got woken up, you saw it. I was just woken up from things, trying to explain things, and I'm worried about my dog was attacking people and this and that. You know, I'm a vet that just had things. So,
L-A-R.
L-A-R.
M-O-R-E.
M-A what? L-A-R-A-M.
The man wasted no time. He posted the video on YouTube where these cops went viral, but not as heroes. They became clowns, exposed for their incompetence and abuse. While the internet tore them apart, he started searching for top lawyers to take on his case. He was ready to sue, to show these cops that there are boundaries they will respect. But if you think that was bad, the next case will prove the police can always sink lower. The morning of August 6, 2019 seemed like just another day for Christopher Fandler as he walked into a Walmart in Sa Huerta to make a simple purchase. He had no idea that in just minutes he would become the target of an unnecessary police intervention. 8 minutes later, the cops arrived, eager to escalate. What should have been a routine shopping trip turned into something far worse.
Hey, bud, you got some ID on you? Hey.
Hey!
You have some ID on you? Hold on. What's up? You have some ID on you? Sure. No problem? Yeah, management's been asking you to take your helmet off while you're walking around in the store and you're just ignoring them. What are you talking about, man? You think I'm talking just to
Dude, do me a favor, take your helmet off. You're not going to speak with us with your helmet on.
Okay. Let's take your helmet off. Oh.
I'm sorry?
Without any explanation, the cops walked up to Christopher and demanded his ID. We all know when police approach someone, they're supposed to have a reason first and an explanation second, but these cops had neither. No crime, no justification, just authority they expected to be obeyed without question. And when Christopher didn't immediately comply, they did what bad cops always do. They escalated.
Would you make a purchase?
Yeah, that's fine. Dropping everything, man. Yeah.
So he said that he had music playing in his helmet.
I walked right up to just like I'm talking to you right now. Stood right there.
Okay.
No, updated with MVD?
Yes, it is. I live in a motto.
Okay.
So did you see the manager basically walk up right to your face and ask you to take off your helmet? How'd you not see that?
I saw him talking, but he's got a headset on.
I'm standing right next to you. Right next to you. I came up and I said, sir,
I thought you were going this way. I didn't hear you.
I said, stop. I followed you halfway throughout the store.
So let me ask you something. What's the purpose of keeping the helmet on?
It's just faster to get to work, man. Like I said, I'm on my way to work.
Where do you work at?
Work at Jim Click, right there.
Okay. So you.
Since they had no real reason to approach Christopher in the first place, the cops quickly decided that the real issue was his helmet. Walking through a store with a helmet on was suddenly suspicious enough to justify police intervention. But if you think that's the dumbest excuse they could come up with, well, just wait. What they said next will prove they were only getting started.
Walk through the store, what'd you buy?
I bought sandwich, a Gatorade, 2 peaches, a scrubber, I think 4 pens, and a toothbrush.
Okay.
That's it.
So you just
Basically
kept.
everything on here.
Let me see it.
I couldn't
So
find
you
a basket.
keep the helmet on, you walk around.
Yeah, I do that.
Grab
at
all this
Safeway,
stuff.
I go to other Safeway. I go Fry's. Except for when I go to the bank.
I mean, he knows I know because I ride. He rides.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't take much effort to take it off, put it back on. I mean, it takes maybe like 5 seconds, 10 seconds,
It
if that.
doesn't, man. But I've never had any issues where it was like take it off or a sign saying that you need to have it off. And like I said,
That's why the manager asked you to take it off.
Like I said, I didn't hear him. I had music playing throughout the
Okay.
street.
You didn't see me? I'm standing right in front of you.
I saw you there, and then I saw you talk. But like again, you have a headset on, so
Well, I can't put my hands on you to get your attention. I was standing
Oh, yeah,
right next to you.
I
Right?
didn't-
Just like I'm standing
I
here with
didn't
the
see
officer.
you come next to me.
I stood right in front of you, just like I'm standing here. I said, I need you to stop and listen to me. You totally ignored me and kept walking. I got associates that were upset and concerned because you're walking around with a backpack, with a helmet. Nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, but I made a purchase.
I'm concerned about the safety of my
Stop
associates.
him now, okay?
Someone really needs to remind these cops that wearing a badge doesn't mean they are the law or that they can invent new ones whenever they feel like it. Christopher had done nothing wrong, but that didn't matter to them. Admitting they were wrong was never an option. So instead, they started searching for any excuse to escalate an already ridiculous situation. And unfortunately, they were just getting started.
You're an argumentative person, and I am not the person you want to argue with. You need to take
You want
a
his?
stand and you need to go like this and pull your head out of your ass, okay? Because you're walking around in a store hiding your face. There's shooters that go on all over the place. This man comes up to you and you want to play. You got a little Senna headpiece going on that you can't stop. You need to listen to learn, not listen to reply. You need to turn that little switch off in your brain that you want to run your mouth and argue every time somebody tells you something. Because this is disturbing the peace. You can go to jail and not go to work. So what's the choice you're going to make, hardhead? You're going to quit walking around businesses with a helmet on, scaring the hell out of people to where you got massive cops all over the place, rifles outside waiting for a shooter to come out? Laugh. But that's where we're at. So pull your head out of your ass and quit arguing every time somebody tells you something. I'm telling you, look at what you're doing. You keep wanting to argue with me. I'm not the guy you want to argue with. Wasn't trying to argue.
That's why you keep talking. Stop talking.
Okay, fine. Cool. Moving on.
Do you have his info? I was gonna see if they want to trespass.
Yeah, I do want to trespass. I don't want that.
Okay, so officially being trespassed from the store, don't come back to Walmart. Come back to Walmart, manager, anyone sees you, you get arrested for that.
We don't have a picture taken with a helmet.
When he walks out, it'll be on the camera when he walks out.
The cops, desperate for any excuse, finally landed on an accusation that will shock you: trespassing. Yes, they tried to claim that a paying customer shopping in a public store was somehow trespassing. What else can you expect from cops who don't understand the law they claim to enforce? Once again, the moment Christopher didn't immediately bow to their nonsense, they lost their patience.
Telephone number. Do I have to provide that, sir? Yes, you do. Alright. I gotta look it up on my phone. What else is in that file? Your phone. Alright. Give me the telephone number. Okay. It's 520-427-4884. Keep in mind, if you come in here again, you'll be arrested and you'll book for trespassing. And understand, what he's telling you, you're trespassing from Walmart, it's a national system. You're not just trespassing from this Walmart, you're trespassing from all Walmarts and Sam's Clubs. Okay? So understand that. If something happens and you get pulled over or stopped at one of them other ones for wearing your helmet for stupid stunts like that, you'll find yourself sitting in county. Didn't have to be like that. But how many other people you see going to business walking around with a motorcycle hung out?
Especially with the shootings in Daytona and freaking El Paso just happening.
Your goal is
people are going to be on edge, they're going to be scared, they're going to be worried, okay? You got someone that walks in wearing a motorcycle helmet and has a backpack with military...
It's clear these cops weren't just bad at their jobs, they were bad people. They enjoyed harassing someone who had done absolutely nothing wrong. They bombarded Christopher with pointless questions, trying to trap him, and when he exercised his right to stay silent, they twisted it into something else: disrespect. Because in their world, not instantly obeying their every word wasn't just a right, it was a crime.
Camouflage, they're gonna think otherwise. They're not gonna think it's just some law-abiding citizens. You see how that looks? It's like common. It's kind of like common sense. I mean, like I said, he rides, I ride. I always take my helmet off. I mean, does it really save you that much time? Today it didn't.
Are you on medication?
How old are you?
Mental health issues or anything?
How old are you? Tell me how old you are. Tell me how old you are. Okay, you're acting like a little child. How many times did you ask him to leave?
At least 5, 6 times. Just like he's ignoring you. I walk half the store with him, following him right to his side to ask him. After I told him many times that officers were coming out, and he just kept walking.
Of course, Christopher daring to stand up for his civil rights only made the cops more determined to punish him for it. What started as a so-called warning quickly turned into a trespassing arrest, even though nothing about the situation legally qualified as trespassing. But what else can you expect from cops who don't even know the law they claim to enforce?
You were told to leave the store, and you didn't want to cooperate.
Want me to take my jacket off?
Nope, I want you to leave your jacket on.
Right now. Turn around, please. Wait, which way am I turning? This way. Oh, there you go.
All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against the court of law. You have the right to the presence of an attorney prior to question. If you cannot afford one will be appointed for you. Do you understand those rights? I'm going to take your silence as a yes. That's my finger that you can feel inside of each one of those, showing you have enough space that they're not too tight and binding. They're double locked, so they're not going to close up. Go ahead and walk. We'll search you outside here.
Did you get the manager?
Yeah, I got his info.
Okay, I'll take it.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Then I'll get you.
here, do this. If you want, I'll write the case. Yeah, I can write it. I mean, I already got. Can't feel it.
I'll get it up there.
Here.
Is this guy's?
Oh. Yeah, geez. Now, with his attitude, he's clearly not going to listen. No. That's why I decided to say, hey, let's just do this. Get over with.
Not only did the cops illegally arrest Christopher, they also illegally searched him. Let's be honest, they were probably praying he had stolen something so they could pretend this wasn't a complete abuse of power. But here's a basic fact they seem to forget: someone has to commit a crime before they're arrested, not be arrested first and then have cops scramble to find a reason.
Go back in there and check with them. If they're not okay, if we leave that bike there, I'm going to store it. Other people can look at that. I'll grab you a paper bag. We can start putting all this stuff.
Yeah. Just walk to. Alright, walk right here. There you go. Spread your feet. More. There you go.
You got anything?
No, he's grabbing a bag right now.
Have you ever dealt with arrogant cops who think they were above the law? Tell us in the comments, how did you react in that situation? Because stories like these happen way too often. Now let's see what happened next as the cops continued their illegal search of Christopher. Spoiler alert, they had no intention of stopping anytime soon.
count this out.
Got a, it's like behind all this with currency attached. $100 bill apparently on the outside. Okay, 125, 26, 27, 28, 29, and apparently 30. So $130.
Got it.
After searching every inch of Christopher and his clothes, the cops found nothing, just as they expected, but instead of realizing their mistake and letting him go, this only made them double down on their nonsense. Instead of backing off, they somehow got even worse. They actually decided to search him again, as if they thought they had somehow missed something the first time.
Eyeglass repair kit.
I know it feels like this endless search will go on forever, but trust me, the cops were just getting started. That day was far from over, and they still had plenty of ways to harass Christopher. But what they didn't realize was that the damage was already done, and no matter what they did next, there was no undoing it.
More currency. We've got $8 bill and a nickel free.
The cops had already humiliated Christopher in every possible way, but their sick minds still found a way to take it even further. They actually made him take off his shoes, convinced that maybe, just maybe, he was hiding something inside. You believe this? What do you think? Did they find something to actually justify their illegal arrest?
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm not having to stand on one foot. This way. Yeah, sure.
Of course, they didn't find anything, but that didn't stop them. Instead of admitting their mistake, they took it even further. Now, they decided to make Christopher take off his socks. The problem wasn't just the search itself, it was their delusional certainty that Christopher had to be hiding something. The idea they were wrong never even crossed their minds because in their world, cops don't make mistakes, everyone else does.
It's your foot. Now the other one. Down. There you go.
Desperate to make Christopher snap, the cops decided to take off his jacket as if that would somehow reveal the crime they were desperate to find. Of course, to do that, they had to briefly remove his handcuffs, and it was clear what they were hoping for. They wanted him to run, to make a sudden move, anything that could justify their abuse and turn their false narrative into reality.
Hey V, we're gonna take his jacket off, take the cuffs off.
Just keep your hands in place.
That's the jacket up. I undid this one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Either way, alright.
When that didn't happen, the disappointed cops had no choice but to put Christopher back in the police car. But of course, they still weren't ready to give up. It won't surprise you that even at this point, they tried one more time, desperately checking if they had somehow missed a spot in one last place they hadn't searched. Some cops just don't know when to quit.
Perfect. Is there anything on you I might have missed?
I do have basketball shorts, but the pockets are empty, so just letting you know. It's your call.
You got basketball shorts, pockets are empty.
I've got no reason to lie.
I'll just give you the information here. If you go down to jail, they're going to strip search you when you get there. If you have any drugs, any contraband weapons whatsoever, when you're there, it turns into a felony, where here it's probably not. So if you have anything on you like that, you need to tell us now, because there you'll be going before a superior court judge instead of just the county judge.
I don't.
Okay.
Not on me, at least. Okay. I don't know about my backpack, because I don't remember putting it in there. I don't think I have anything.
Christopher was arrested for absolutely no reason, and the worst part? These cops got away with it. No consequences, no accountability, just another abuse of power swept under the rug. And that's the real danger. They faced zero punishment this time. Just imagine how much bolder they'll be the next time. You might think you've seen the worst police misconduct, but what you're about to witness in our next video will shock you even more. So stay with us, because we'll show you more examples of officers who think the law doesn't apply to them.